about Norway, and you can, as I tell this, guess is what I tell true, or is what I tell false. And after I've told them, I will tell you whether it is false or whether it is true. I am very proud to be a Norwegian, by the way. So you see behind me the Norwegian flag. Yeah. I love the Norwegian flag. You know, I am very proud to be a Norwegian. So I hope you enjoy this video. Find it relaxing and perhaps even informing if you're not from Norway. So it will be fun to do this video. I just wonder, and remember, if you do enjoy my content, only if you enjoy my content of course, remember to like the video and by pressing the thumbs up button, and remember to subscribe to my channel. Thank you in advance if you do and if you enjoy the video. I am ASMR Weetle, and let's get going, shall we? So, the Prime Minister of Norway is a millionaire who leads the Labour Party. Is this true? What do you think? Okay, I'll give you the answer. Yes, it's true. The Prime Minister of Norway is called Jonas Gahr Støre. He has led the Labour Party for 9 years, and in 2021 he became Prime Minister of Norway because the left bloc won the election. It has been somewhat controversial, but a millionaire is the leader of the Labour Party, because many people believe that the leader of the Labour Party should have a somewhat more humble background, or at least a more work-focused background, but it is what it is. He succeeded Erna Solberg, who was Prime Minister for the right-wing coalition of government, and who is the party leader of Høyre, or Right, the established conservative party of Norway. And she was Prime Minister for 8 years, preceding Jonas. In 2017 she won over Jonas, actually, but or rather the right wing won over the left wing. But when in 21 the left wing won over the right wing and Jonas became Prime Minister. You often have more than one chance in Norway to become Prime Minister if you're the nominee for a main party. Anyway, now she hopes to return in 25. So if Jonas and Erna face off in 25 again, it will be the third time they face off. So far the score is 1-1 between the two of them. Now anyway, so in Norway, Norway is famous for its elks or moses, but I think it's named elks in Norway. The Norwegian word is elk, and I think that's elks. It's something similar to Moses, but it's elk. Very unique for Norway. I mean, Norway is the only country I think has this, but you don't see this in a lot of countries. Now, they are also very known for attacking foreigners. Like, they're comfortable with natives, but they attack foreigners very easily if foreigners wander into our forests. True or false? Okay, I'll give you the answer. It's false. The elk normally won't attack anyone. It usually is found deep in the forest, but it can filter into civilized areas. At times it happens, but it has happened even during my lifetime. But they're normally not dangerous. But they can be dangerous if you come between a full-grown mother elk and their child, then they can attack and be dangerous. But they're no more dangerous to foreigners than they are to natives. During Second World War, a man named Vidkun Quisling coopted the government and power in Norway. True or false? It's true. He did. Vidkun Quisling was the leader of the far-right fascist National Party, who wasn't really a that popular party in Norway. It had its followers, but it wasn't really that big of a party. But during Second World War, the Germans invaded and occupied Norway, and he seized on the opportunity. As the government and the royal family went into exile in London, he seized the opportunity and in a radio speech announced himself as the new Prime Minister and the National Party as the new government. Germans weren't fully aware of his plans, actually. No. He later on, during the occupation area, became prime minister, but he is not considered a legitimate prime minister in Norwegian history, as the actual prime minister of the Labour Party was in London at the time and was considered by most the actual government prime minister. When the Germans were defeated and the Nazis withdrew from Norway, Vidkun Quisling was executed. And today his name has become synonymous with traitor. So Quisling means traitor these days. In Norway, because of this history, the far right and the concept of fascism is very controversial. And what makes it even more controversial, what makes fascism even more controversial in Norway and disliked by many in Norway, is but it's controversial everywhere, but it's probably additionally controversial in many places in Norway. And what makes it even more controversial is what 12 years ago, summer 12 years ago, a far-right nutcase placed a bomb beneath the government headquarters. So what the wall government headquarters were completely destroyed, more or less. Windows blown out on, and when he did something really despicable, he killed children, youths. He killed people who were in the 14, 15 or 16 years old on a youth camp, and this youth camp was the Labour Party's youth camp of youth politicians. So he went to that island and killed children. It was one of the worst days in Norwegian history. It is known in Norway as the 20th of July, because that's the date it occurred. And it was really horrible. And it was essentially Norway's 9/11. No one had imagined something like what happened in Norway. And so many people died that day. It was like 70 and 80 people or something died that day. And that's a lot in Norway. So it's really horrible. And of course this makes the concept of far-right and fascism very controversial in Norway. Norway do have an established far-right party, but they are not, while they are far-right in comparison to other Norwegian parties, they are not necessarily as far-right as some of the other far-right parties in Europe. But they do use populistic languages, so we're not innocent of that. Anyway, enough about that. Norway has a king, even as of today. True or false? I can tell you now immediately, it's true. Norway has had a king ever since 1905, when the union with Sweden was dissolved. In modern times, and we have had three kings, and our current king is King Harald, who has been king since 1991, succeeding his father. And the crown prince Håkon, who is the son of King Harald, who will become king after Harald. And there is also a princess called Ingrid Alexandra, who one day will become queen. Now, the king is very popular in Norway. He is the head of state, a ceremonial figure. The actual power lies with the government and the prime minister, but there is a great respect for the monarchy in Norway. He's a very popular king, and his new species is very, very popular. So yeah, he's very unifying, Okay, there is a shaman connected to the royal family, which is very, very controversial. True or false? It's true. There is. He is called Durek, and he's an American shaman who married the sister of the crown prince, Märtha Louise. And Märtha Louise has always been alternative with doing ancient stuff and things like are a little towards the New Age moment, so she has also been a little controversial. But Durek is additionally controversial man in Norwegian. He's a media sensation, and he's very controversial, because the way he has used his connection to the royal family and the relationship to Märtha Louise has been very controversial. He has used it to market some alternate products, and he's a self-claimed healer and shaman, and he has used his position and connection to the royal family to market his products and alternate methods, or very controversial methods of healing and such, and that's and many people feel that it is incorrect to use the royal family in this way. So he has been under a lot of media fire, and is very controversial in Norway. Norwegians during Christmas eats a roasted pig with an apple in the mouth. True or false? False. Yes, it's false. Norwegians do not do that. That's actually Swedes, I think, that do that. That's a Swedish tradition. In Norway, the 3 popular wine courses during Christmas are, and it varies from family to family, but the 3 alternatives are rib, which is this big meat thingy, with these crispy squares on top, very good. Another alternative is the lamb, with thin lamb pieces of lamb meat, called pinnekjøtt, which is with thin sticks essentially. And then there's lutefisk, which is fish, but the 2 others are more popular. Some modern people claim that the rib is on the way out, but trust me, so long as there are families that have rib as a tradition, rib will remain there. There are still a lot of people using rib. I will not abandon tradition, at least. I know that there are some people that want to abandon all traditions, but I personally respect traditions. I think traditions are important, so I'll keep that alive. And I think my sister will keep that alive too, actually. Anyway, yeah, and my family in general will keep that alive. We have potatoes and meat cakes and things like that, and cranberry and various things to go with it, and we often have Christmas foods 3 days in a row. That's my family. It varies from family to family how we do this, but my family has that, which is very good. It's really enjoyable. And then we have the ice cream to dessert, but again the dessert is in my family. Yeah, very good. Anyway, yeah, really enjoyable, by the way. So the dominant party of Norway is the Communist Party. True or false? False. Yes, it's false. The dominant party of Norway isn't the Communist Party. There is a party called the Red, which are the successors of communists, more or less, and they have like 7 or 8 representatives or something in the parliament after the last election. They're a far-left party. They're the kind of party you will not see gain success in the US, I think. At least not on a national level. But here in Norway, they have had some success. Even though their ideology is very close to communism. But they are by no means the dominant party. Now, Norway is well known for its famous military parade on Constitution Day. True or false? It's false. Yes, it's false. Norway does not have, unlike many other countries, a military parade on its Constitution Day. Constitution is a big celebration, but in Norway we have children parades, and most children from the age of 6 to 15 participate in this parade, and there are lines of parents and adults watching this parade, and so schools from all over the country parade in the local areas. And I was, as a child, also part of these parades. Most people who are growing up in Norway are part of these parades. And when we were childs, we would go in these parades and we would wave the flags like this and sing national anthems and songs. So this is very unique for Norway, and one of the funnest parts of being a Norwegian. If you're growing up in Norway, you get to go in these parades. Really, so I think that's one of the most unique parts of being a Norwegian. Now, Norwegian society can withstand extreme cold and extreme temperatures of cold. True or false? What do you believe? I hope you find this relaxing and calming, by the way, as I tell you these facts. It's true. Norwegians of Norway, as a country, withstands extreme temperatures of cold and relaxation. Cold and ice. So even if there are slippery roads, even if there are snow, even if the degrees go to minus 15 to 20 Celsius, our schools and society remains open, because our houses are built to withstand the cold. We live in a cold country, so if our houses fell apart because of a little cold, we could not be living in this country, because the winters here can be very cold. So our houses, we can live normal lives even when there's extreme cold. We see on the news places and houses in the southern US fall apart because of cold, but that doesn't happen here. Norwegians are very sturdy when it comes to cold. There's almost this joke that if the whole world froze over, Norway will be one of the last countries standing. And that's probably true. We deal with cold. We don't necessarily like cold equally ourselves, but we are trained, we grow up in Norway in these cold and harsh winters. And we deal with it, we learn to handle it so we can tackle cold temperatures that people from more southern countries may struggle much more with. We have adapted to this environment, you know. Of course, we can have warm summers here, so these are during the winters, just a bit. Anyway, so how are you now? Are you more relaxed, more at peace? Otherwise, Norway has a variety of faith. We're a multicultural country, and there are Christians here. The concept of Christian fundamentalism exists here, but it was a much more Christian country in the past than in the present. The recent decades, Norway has become a very multicultural country with a lot of faiths interwoven in one country. Like atheism, New Age movement, and all faiths you can imagine, pretty much. And Norway is also a very inclusive country when it comes to things like disabilities and such. Very helpful and inclusive country in that kind of way. Now, in Norway, the capital of Norway is Bergen. True or false? It is false. While there are some people from Bergen who want Bergen to be the capital. Oslo is the capital of Norway. It was in the past named Christiania, but about a century ago it was renamed Oslo, and this is the capital. This is where both the parliament and the royal castle is. And I have of course been in Oslo several times during my life, because if you're a Norwegian, you will of course probably sometimes visit Oslo at some point during your life, be it via family, the class, or whatever. Yeah. Anyway, so I know a little of the capital, you know. Yeah. So I'm really proud to be a Norwegian, and I hope you found this video so relaxing and so good, and appreciate these facts about Norway and everything within Norway. I hope you're doing really great and really good. And I just want to say so we Norwegians are, well, we're one kind of people who, well, I think I've told you a little about what kind of people we are. We like hiking and such, among other things, and yeah. Yeah, and I told a little about the politics of monarchy and, you know, things like that. Yeah, so I hope if you're a foreigner and you're not accustomed to Norway, I hope this told you a few facts about Norway. Thank you so much for watching.